What's up, plant lovers? I'm Devin Wallien, and today we're going to talk about Catmint, Nepeta, Nepeta. This is a really robust perennial. There's a reason it is such a popular perennial. And so I'm going to go through some of the care and culture in this video, all about Nepeta. We're here April 24th in Westchester, Pennsylvania, zone 6B7A. It's a kind of a cool 50-degree spring day here. And you can see that while all of my garden is pretty much just getting started, my catmint is really already starting to flower. It's one of the first perennials to really pop out of the ground and produce flowers. The flowers haven't started to take on any color yet, but you can see they will be coming soon. Now I have it growing here in this garden bed, which gets about a half a day of sun. It's nice and exposed, but once these trees get a little bit more foliage, it will be a little bit more shaded. However, it does really well in this garden bed. You can see I have one here, another one there, another one there, and another one back there. And I also grow it in another garden bed over here. Now, catmint is from the Lamiaceae, or the mint family. So first and foremost, that should tell you that it's going to be a plant that's deer resistant, rabbit resistant, probably a sun lover. Most mints are sun loving, so full sun to half day of sun. And it is also can be, mints are known to be rather aggressive. However, catmint is a pretty well-tamed perennial. Now you can see over here, these plants are even a little bit larger. This guy's looking gorgeous. This guy's looking gorgeous. And members of the mint family are known, easily recognized by the fact that they have square stems. So if you take a little pinch off, you rub it in your fingers, you can see it kind of has a little stopping points rather than being a round stem. That's an easy identification of members of the mint family. Now, when I first started to grow this, I thought, all right, it grows really fast in the springtime. It blooms early. That means I'm probably gonna have to shear it back, and it's gonna look kind of, I don't know, not very good for a little while during the course of the spring and summertime. So in this video, I'm gonna showcase a couple different techniques. One, which will be just letting it do its thing, not touching it at all, no deadheading. And then I'm also going to do some shearing back at different stages so that you can get a good idea of what might be best for you. And the cultivar that I am growing is called Picture Perfect. I believe this is from Walter's Gardens, a great commercializer, marketer, breeder. And I should also mention that they're also quite drought tolerant plants. I don't have any of mine attached to any garden irrigation systems at my home garden here in Westchester. And just about a week later, you can see the color on the catmint flowers are starting to take on that classic purple hue that we all know the catmint for. But what you start to really see almost immediately is that there is that kind of section in the middle which starts to splay out. And that's always the section, the part that really has bothered me with the catmint. So at this point, we're still just gonna hang out and enjoy the flowers for now. And once they start to kind of finish, then we can decide what we wanna do, if anything at all. All right, so here you can see as they start to grow, they do get splayed out like this. Now I have one plant, 2 plants, and 3 plants right there. So on this first plant, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just take it like a ponytail. And I'm gonna just cut off that top. Now these flowers aren't quite done, so this is, I wouldn't idealistically do this or recommend doing it, but I wanna show you guys these different options of what you can do to make your catmint look a little bit tidier. So that's the first one. Now this second one right here, you can see it's already starting to regrow from the center, which is very unique. However, just for educational purposes, I'm gonna do the ponytail. And I'm gonna cut this back all the way. I mean, when I say all the way, there's a couple inches left. And on this third plant, you can see it's also starting to regrow from the center, and those new areas, the new growth is already starting to put on some new flowers. So for this plant, I'm not going to do absolutely anything. I'm gonna just let it be. And then we're gonna revisit them in about a month and see how they've progressed from this point. Well, it definitely did not take a whole month for them to really start to regrow and fill back out. As you can see from the plant that we just pruned off the top, trimmed off the top, it has grown back really beautifully. All those sections where we had cut, for instance, right there, that already has new growth points coming out just below it. And you can see it already looks like a very nice plant. Now this one, which we cut back to nothing, has just exploded with new growth. And this is after such a short period of time. You can see that in the next couple of weeks, it's gonna definitely fill back out and look something like this, probably with flowers as well. And then this guy, which we've left all alone, actually doesn't look that bad. It's kind of started to spread out, and that could just be more of a characteristic of this specific cultivar rather than all of the catmint, just generally speaking. But I'd say this is a pretty awesome thing to see how it has really grown from where it was just really splaying out in the middle and starting to fill out. So it's gonna create an even larger because of it, which is pretty sweet. After having an opportunity to see a few different methods on how you can take care of your catmint, as well as just some general growing tips for growing this beautiful, easy to grow, drought tolerant, sun loving, pollinator friendly catmint. If you do have any further questions, comments, or tips of your own, please leave them down in the comment section below. Anyways, thanks for joining me here on Plant Vibrations. I'll catch you next time. Ciao.